So let's talk about the very beginning. What is SAP? We're going to start in 1972. We're going back a long way. SAP was first launched almost 50 years ago in Germany, right? So the longer you work with SAP, the more you're going to see that German fingerprint on the system. And that's because some things just don't translate very well to English. And we can point out a few examples of those today. One of the most common questions I get asked is, what does SAP actually stand for? Many may not realize that it's actually an acronym, and it stands for Systems, Applications, and Products. Over my 2 decades, I've heard things like stops all production, or, you can't run your system. There's always funny little acronyms that go with implementing SAP, but those are usually coming from people that were involved with an implementation that did not go smoothly, obviously. I can assure you, and I've done dozens of implementations, large and small, that if managed and executed properly, SAP is an extremely powerful tool. In fact, it's an ERP. And when I say ERP, that we mean Enterprise Resource Planning System. And that's just a fancy way of saying that it's a system with full integration. And by full integration, what do I mean by that? I mean that all functional areas of your company, of your business, are handled within a single system. So before ERPs were introduced, each business function, each business unit, like human resources, finance, sales, customer management, inventory, purchasing, those were typically all handled in separate systems, separate siloed systems that didn't really talk to each other. So it's very difficult to run your company with all that critical information in separate instances of a system. Imagine just closing your financial periods. You have to know what your inventory is. You have to know what your AR and your APs are. All of those things are necessary to close a month end. And if you have to get all of that out of a separate system, that is obviously a tedious task. So the benefit of an ERP is that it's all within one system. It's fully integrated, and I don't mean to oversimplify, but it is basically at the touch of a button that you can get that type of information from all the various business units under one umbrella. That's the benefit of the ERP. So, but SAP isn't the only ERP out there. It's by far the leading ERP system in use today. But several years ago, Oracle was a huge competitor. More lately now, though, Microsoft is in the game, but SAP, like I said, is by far the leading system in use today. Oracle is more known for the database functionality that it brings to the market versus the ERP system. So if you're looking to get into some new jobs, new industries, new roles within your company, I think SAP training is going to be the best thing that you can do for yourself to make you marketable, make you visible to those seeking new employment. Okay, so let's talk about who uses SAP. So I think you would be hard pressed to find any industry out there that doesn't use some form of SAP. From oil and gas, discrete manufacturing, high tech, the consumer products like we just talked about, even government is running some form of SAP. I think you would be, again, hard pressed to find an industry that is not using some form. You could do a quick Google search and find hundreds and hundreds of companies that are using one form or another, from mid-sized businesses all the way up to huge global conglomerates. And another fun fact, I think Claire found this a while back, according to the SAP website, over 75% of the world's transaction-based revenue is processed through an SAP system. So I said before, investing in SAP training is definitely a good investment, because you will be hard pressed to find a company out there that would not leverage that SAP skill set in some way. So let's talk about implementing SAP. Why do companies choose to implement SAP? If it's not an easy thing to do. Certainly it's not, and it can go wrong. It can go sideways very quickly. Depending on the size of the company and many other factors, it could take years and hundreds of millions of dollars. But why would a company choose to make such a huge investment? And I think the answer to that is, imagine you're one of those companies that had the separate systems managing all those critical business functions, those systems that are isolated and don't talk to each other. So for example, if the sales and the inventory management and the finance functions, if those are all managed on separate systems, then a customer order could get entered and you would have no idea if there's even inventory available to fulfill that order. You'd have to go check in a separate system. And if that system's not current, then, imagine you're the customer in that scenario. You place an order and you're expecting to get some product and you get a call a few hours later. Oh, I'm so sorry. We don't actually have that in stock at the moment. That's just not good business. And then without integration to the finance side of things, the organization just would not have a good, quick, easy method of evaluating the current inventory on hand, which I mentioned before is something you have to do as a corporation. You have to do that for your period end closing reports. You have to know the value of that inventory because that is a tax liability that is reported to the government. So those are critical reasons why companies would invest hundreds of millions of dollars and years of their time and resources into implementing SAP. We've also got automation. I don't want to overlook the power of automating core business functions such as processing invoices from vendors. So SAP offers tools that would automatically receive, reconcile, and pay vendor invoices. There might be exceptions, invoices that fall out that for whatever reason can't be processed automatically. But think about that department, that AP department. If they're only focused on a small percentage of the invoices that fall out of that automated process, then they're free to focus on much more important things that might actually help grow the company instead of bogging them down in repetitive, mundane tasks like paying an invoice that has no issues, everything checks out. That's something that could be automated very easily with SAP. Availability checks, that's another great example. So if we get back to that last example, you have an order placed by a customer. It's entered into SAP. One of the best parts of SAP is that availability check. Automatically, when that order is entered, the system will check inventory to see if it can be fulfilled. And the person entering that order will know immediately, and they can communicate immediately to the customer whether or not the inventory is available to ship. And if it's not, when would the earliest availability date be? So those are some advantages as well. The massive amounts of data. I think big data, we've all heard that term over the last 5 to 7 years. SAP is a big reason for that. Capturing massive amounts of data that can help your organization make better and faster business decisions. It's just going to make you much more efficient, much more secure, much more compliant as an organization. Compliance, that's an important topic. Many industries like finance, where it's not only good practice but required by law to ensure that you are not doing business with people or organizations that have been sanctioned by the government. Some recent examples of that in the recent years are Russia and even China to some regard, Iran. If you're importing raw materials from those countries, those countries have been sanctioned, and it is literally against the law to import some products from those countries. So managing that through an SAP system, an automated SAP system, would greatly reduce the chances of you being fined by the government for violating those sanctions.